Primal. Originally, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this video. I've really just been enjoying the series and was going to potentially just do a Scooge episode about it. But somehow, so far this season has been a lot better than season 1. And I didn't even think that was possible, and now I kinda just want to talk about it. Primal is an adult animated series created by Genndy Tartakovsky. If you've seen Samurai Jack, you know Genndy tends to let the action tell the story, but unlike Jack, there is barely any dialogue in this show minus yelling and roaring. In an interview with Polygon, Genndy talks about wanting to make something surreal, something gritty that you can look at and just enjoy the art of. He says the visceral visuals should be enough to tell the story he wants to tell in the 20-minute format that the show has. He wants to be seen as an all-time great director like a Hayao Miyazaki, and with Primal, I think he's on the right path. Season 1 was something special that I could never take away from him. But Season 2 blew it completely out of the water from top to bottom. Season 1 gave us glimpses of the world in an episodic format, from infected dinosaurs to ape men to witches, all giving us their respective roles in this world and how our main characters react or interfere with said roles. While that concept is carried over, it's no longer in an episodic format. This season was a complete serialized story from start to finish, outside of episode 5, which leads me to believe that episode 5 does have some sort of importance to it. But back on track. From village-like people to Viking-like people to an evil yet alluring conqueror, we see the roles in this world and how the main characters react or interfere with said roles. This time, however, their actions have consequences, and I love that about this season. Because they're on a hunt to find Mira's capturers, it takes them to this new land to meet these new people, and for Fang, a new Tyrannosaur, both meeting with someone of their own kind, started as fearful but slowly gained a trust for them, until one day, where the dinosaurs attacked the village. Because Spear killed the other dinosaur, Fang was devastated and didn't speak to him for a few days because we didn't know this currently, but Fang was pregnant with the dinosaur's kids. Because she now has these eggs to worry about, the capturers were able to force them to fight for them because they kept threatening to kill one of the eggs. I think one did end up breaking as well, it was just really sad to watch. Each action they took in the season had an effect on what action they would take next, and I love that. It's good storytelling and it gets the audience anticipating what will happen next week when the next episode comes out, and it's just good overall, good for ratings. The only question I could possibly have about this season revolves around one main thing: the Primal theory and the period this series is entirely set in. The Primal theory is the only episode that gives us a time period and a location: 1890 in England. It consists of a group of scientists chattering, and one, named Charles, started discussing evolution, like one real life Charles Darwin that we know. But then he switches into a primal theory, saying our primal instincts lay dormant in us, and given enough pressure and in the right situation, us humans will revert back to primitive mannerisms of a Neanderthal. Obviously his colleagues laugh and ridicule his theory, but events start to occur that would suggest his theory may be correct. I've discussed this with a few creators, shout out to Big Bro Tunes, but could this theory possibly be a hint at a time period Primal is based in? This type of stuff doesn't normally interest me when it comes to shows, but the insertion of Mira and others throughout season 2 made the question arise. Mira and her people speak Arabic. The Celtic tribe whom helped Spear spoke Irish. The Vikings who imprisoned Mira spoke Old Norse. And we even had the Egyptian warriors whom captured the entire crew. The Egyptian warriors would go on to fight and kill Romans, Chinese, and Slav soldiers, and then later a Hindu tribe. Before taking the Vikings into account, the earliest this could take place is 800 BC. But after including the Vikings, the earliest this would be is 780, much later. One problem is that each of these time periods, the dinosaurs' extinction and even cavemen predates it. So what now? I've been told the time period in this show should not matter because, like Inspirations, Conan the Barbarian, and Heavy Metal, it too takes a more anachronistic approach. meaning it's pulling from different time periods and putting it all into one. The Primal Theory shouldn't be considered much but a filler episode. Genndy originally wanted to do an anthology series for Primal, so maybe it was a test for that, but that's no fun. I want it to be more. I want this episode to matter more than just thematically. Maybe something catastrophic happened in this world and the Primal Theory kicked in for most civilization. Maybe it's because someone successfully revived the dinosaurs. Maybe the past in this world is just different from ours, but hey, that's just a theory. A cartoon theory. Reading all of these interviews and Reddit forums makes my brain hurt, and it also gives me more of an understanding and appreciation for Primal. This is being written before I've seen the finale of Season 2. It's supposed to touch on Mira's backstory, I think, so I figured I could just go ahead and write the rest of this out. Primal is special. I don't know how much longer we're going to be following the adventures of Spear and Fang, so I've enjoyed this season being more story driven and focusing on their respect and admiration for one another. It doesn't make me feel self-reflective like a BoJack Horseman or a Tuca and Birdie, but it's still super perfect and it's so sweet and is fucking cool. Like, oh my god, we see so much death and blood and oh my god, there's a lot of gore in here. It's so cool. But yeah, that's basically it. What are your opinions on Primal? I would really like to know in the comments down below. Have you been keeping up with Season 2? Have you liked what Season 2 has presented us so far? What are your opinions on the Primal Theory? Do you think it's just a filler, doesn't matter episode? Do you just think it connects thematically? Do you think it was an experiment to try to see if an anthology aspect will work for Primal? Let me know, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. Okay. Goodbye. What was that finale episode? I should have watched that before I finished this video.